all-powerful God, you are present in the whole universe and in the smallest of your creatures. You embrace with your tenderness all that exists. Pour out upon us the power of your love, that we may protect life and beauty. Fill us with peace, that we may live as brothers and sisters, harming no one. O God of the poor, help us to rescue the abandoned and forgotten of this earth, so precious in your eyes. Bring healing to our lives, that we may protect the world and not prey on it, that we may sow beauty, not pollution and destruction. Touch the hearts of those who look only for gain at the expense of the poor and the earth. Teach us to discover the worth of each thing, to be filled with awe and contemplation, to recognize that we are profoundly united with every creature as we journey towards your infinite light. We thank you for being with us each day. Encourage us, we pray, in our struggle for justice, love, and peace. Amen.
Five years after Laudato Si, the encyclical's call for ecological conversion of all humanity is more relevant and urgent than ever.
The crisis of climate change puts those that are most vulnerable into an even deeper vulnerability. The same actually is true for the COVID crisis. It also hits those who are most vulnerable much more than those who have the option to protect themselves. So 5 years later, here we are with yet another reminder of our very deep obligation and responsibility to do our task, to rise to the challenge.
I think this is what we are called to do, to actually listen to the people of God living day in and day out these situations that cannot longer continue.
We have also seen very painfully in the last few days what happens when we don't take care of our own human brothers and sisters. People who had moved from their places of work, from their places of living, in order to make a living for themselves where they didn't have water and food and they could not perhaps do agriculture. They have moved for a living and now they are moving back. Thousands of them, hundreds of them, and there is nobody to care for them. So the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor, these are very closely linked together.
This is what we struggle with today. We still think coronavirus is one problem, poverty is another problem, but actually, if we would only view them integrally as one reality, then we would understand that we have to draw the answers from within that reality and not solve it with a technical fix.
We are really stuck in our habits and the way that things have always been. And I think it was really highlighted within Laudato Si, where the technocratic paradigm, where we think, oh, we'll find some technology that can fix our global warming and climate issues. So there's no need that we need to individually worry about it. But I think it's come about where we are very materialistic, and habitually that has created more of a sense of individualism instead of collectivism. So in order for us to work together for our common home, we have to care for our every person around us within our community and within our world.
What's at stake is the future. Our home is on fire, and it's literally on fire This is not something that we use as a metaphor. Our home is actually on fire. And it's not only the Amazon in Brazil and Bolivia, but also the region of the Congo Basin in Africa, and also Indonesia and the Asia Pacific forest. And this is caused by the desire of having more and more. We cannot continue like this.
Laudato Si has to be actualized. And it's been 5 years. We read it like a book. I read it like a book. I enjoyed reading it, but practiced very little. We gave more importance to SDG. And then I realized that SDG is all there, Laudato Si. All the goals are there in Laudato Si, all the 17 goals. And this challenges all of us, challenges me to introspect myself, where I am, who I am, and what is my relationship with creation, with others, and with myself.
The youth have the drive, the energy, and the passion to rally the efforts required to promote and preserve our common home. As a member of the Laudato Si generation, as well as the global Catholic climate movement, I am involved in the coordination of climate strikes, as well as creating awareness not only to local leaders but also to international leaders on the policies that need to be formulated, that preserve our common home, that care for our common home, not only for our generation but for our future generations.
Of course, we didn't ask for these crises to collide upon each other, but they have. What we need to do now is to converge the solutions to both.
The word public good in economics, it's as close as it gets to the notion of the common good, which of course the Vatican is a thought leader on. However, how we tend to frame it in economics, it's a correction for something that's not being done somewhere else. And the problem is that if we don't have the concept of a public good as an objective that really requires a serious collective effort, but also an imagination, a reimagination of what kind of society we want to live in, then it's not a very strong concept. So we try to move away from the static way that we think about public goods and the common good towards a real reimagination of value, of wealth creation itself, how we can come together to create a very different type of society. How can we use the Laudato Si precisely to reinvigorate that question of the essential part of the economy, the essential part of our lives, the common good, which can only be created if we really negotiate every day what it means to work together and to govern our systems, whether it be our patent systems, again, the welfare systems, our financial systems, how we regulate ourselves, and how we construct a collective.
And it is a unprecedented opportunity to prove that we have learned from our mistakes of the past, to prove that in reflection of who we really are and of our Creator, that we can actually act with much more responsibility, with much more solidarity, and with much longer vision, and that we are entirely capable of making decisions now to build back better.
With the current production and economic systems that we have a few people accumulating more than the majority. So if we talk about collaboration, that collaboration should also go in the economy, which means there's a call for a different model of production, a different model of an economy. One, as Pope Francis puts it, one that promotes collaboration, that promotes life.
None of this will work unless there is conversion. And this is conversion of the heart and how we live. Stop asking questions and start thinking, where am I coming from? Yeah, what am I missing? Where is the gap that needs to be closed between what I'm thinking and doing and where the world is?
You do not put the concern on the environment as something that separates anything you decide in relation to your work, to your home, to your what you want to purchase, what you want to use, what you even your faith. You connect it all together in your life.
Laudato Si says this clearly. This is a common problem and requires common collective solutions. And collective solutions in all areas of our life. Conversion means that. Conversion means, theologically speaking, I convert not one part of myself, I convert everything. So collectively, we need to change the political economic system, the education system. We need to change our own spirituality. We need to change, the energy system. But for that, you need a sense of cohesion, of collectiveness, of communion. You need to be in touch with the reality, to be faithful, but also you need to be hopeful.
When I first read it, I really said he could have opened this document with the words, "Do not be afraid." He does it beautifully, and that's it. He opens up the whole scope of the problem without any doomsday dynamic. He really gives you the depth of the problem, the integrity of the problem. He says persevere. The whole way through the thing, he's asking us to persevere, to understand the pain of the land, and to make a mark. Focus. Where are you now going?
One of the things that gives me hope through the COVID crisis is the fact that there's a sense of collectiveness, of collectivity, that we know that our individual actions, staying at home, homeschooling the children, if that's your job now, it's part of bending the curve. And we know that for climate change, we have an even bigger curve that we have to bend together. But it's the same, we have to bend the curves together.
If from individual, from the family, from the community, I think if we all act together, there are a lot of hopes that we can do together to change our world.
We have to remember this and not feel helpless in the face of global threats, not feel helpless as individuals, because we can, each of us can contribute to global impact. In fact, let me change the verb in that sentence. Each of us must.
The encyclical on environment, Laudato Si, is an important document of our lifetime. It provides simple ways in which human beings can take care of our common home. It also provides a platform for dialogue among nations to come together and take care of our environment. It also links faith and science, something which hasn't been done in a long time, bringing everyone on board at the table to discuss these issues that affect our earth. And this helps me a lot in that I'm able to live in a simple way and also teach my children how to live simply without wasting and nurturing every resource that they know of. Could it be soil, water, air? Everything has to be used in the way it's supposed to be.
That's what Laudato Si quotes Teresa of Lisieux, who said, every little gesture counts. Hold on a minute. It's not true that we cannot do things.
Yeah.
We need to do it collectively, but we need every single person to do their bit and to bring this, to link it with their spirituality, because that's the sustainable change that is needed.
We are connected. The future and the possibility to change it can only happen if we work together.
particular context of change and of global challenge, Laudato Si is again a prophetic voice, a prophetic guide that offers a vision for building a more just and sustainable world. And thus we will join efforts with many other people and organizations all over the world demanding ecological and social justice and fighting to change values, lifestyles, economy, and policies. And that is really my hope.
Laudato Si Week has opened a venue for building initiatives through families and parishes, schools and universities, healthcare and farmers for a better world. Laudato Si and the dreams of Corrida Amazonia in response to the pandemic and the broader integral crisis give focus to the grave vulnerability of people and increased poverty that now call for a regeneration of the economy that rebuilds the lives of the poor and their greater participation in society, warning us of the hypocrisy of the times as Pope Francis was interviewed on the 8th of April. Buen vivir, good living for well-being within community, is the clearest expression of the economy we now need to build together. How do you want to seek to participate in this in the coming year?
Everything is connected. Concern for the environment thus needs to be joined to a sincere love for our fellow human beings and an unwavering commitment to resolving the problems of society.